Dawn breaks over Emmerdale, but the light feels hollow. A thick fog clings to the fields like a shroud, muffling the sounds of life. The trees stand motionless, their branches skeletal against the pale sky. A raven perches atop the crumbling roof of Keeper's cottage, its cry slicing through the silence like a warning. Inside, Victoria Sugdan sits alone at the kitchen table, her fingers wrapped around a cold mug of tea. Her eyes are fixed on a faded photograph of her and John as children, smiling, innocent. But the innocence is gone. The truth has surfaced, and with it, a darkness she can't shake. The door knocks. She flinches. It's Aaron Dingle. "We need to talk," he says, stepping inside without waiting for an invitation. His voice is low, urgent. "Robert told me everything. About John. About the syringe. About what he almost did." Victoria's face drains of color. "He was here. Last night. Watching us." Aaron locks the door behind him. "Then we don't have time. John's not just dangerous, he's desperate." Deep in the woods, hidden beneath a blanket of moss and decay, John Sugdan crouches beside the rusted door of an old bunker. His eyes are bloodshot, his hands stained with soil and something darker. He whispers to himself, fragments of memories twisted into threats. Inside the bunker, the walls are plastered with photographs. Robert, Victoria, Aaron. Strings connect their faces in a web of obsession. Shelves lined with syringes glisten under a flickering light. One vial stands out, glowing faintly, Truth Serum, Batch 3. John injects himself. His pupils dilate. The world tilts. Visions flood his mind, Robert laughing, Victoria turning away, Aaron embracing someone else. Rage boils in his veins. But then, a tear falls. "They were my family," he murmurs. "They were supposed to love me." Footsteps crunch outside. John grabs a knife. At the Dingle house, Charity paces. Her phone buzzes. A message from the clinic, DNA results ready. She hesitates. Mackenzie Boyd is asleep upstairs, recovering from his hospital stay. She watches him, guilt etched into every line of her face. Flashback, Ross Barton's hand on her belly. His whisper, "If it's mine, we'll figure it out." Charity opens the message. Her knees buckle. "It's Ross's," she whispers. "Oh God. It's Ross's." Just then, Sarah walks in, glowing with hope. "Gran, I was thinking. Maybe we could name the baby Hope. You know, for a fresh start." Charity forces a smile, tears threatening. "That's beautiful, sweetheart." But outside, Ross watches through the window. He knows. And he's not done. Ray Walters meets Dylan at the depot. His smile is oily, his tone sweet, too sweet. "You're doing well, kid. But April. She's slipping. Debt's piling up. You want to protect her, don't you?" Dylan nods, unsure. Ray hands him a burner phone. "One job. One delivery. You'll be free." Meanwhile, April receives a package. Inside, a burner phone and a note, "Welcome to the game." She panics. She runs to Ross. "I need help. I think I'm in something I can't get out of." Ross looks at her, then at the phone. His face darkens. Ray's pulling strings again. Back at the clinic, Charity confronts Ross. "You knew. You manipulated me. You used Sarah's desperation to get close." Ross shrugs. "I didn't make you sleep with me." Charity slaps him. "I'm carrying your child. And I will never let you near it." Ross leans in. "You don't get to decide that." Suddenly, Mackenzie appears behind them. He's heard everything. "Is it true?" he asks, voice cracking. "Is it Ross's?" Charity breaks. "I'm sorry." Mackenzie turns and walks away, leaving Charity sobbing in the clinic hallway. Claudette finds Liam collapsed in the bathroom. He's pale, sweating, clutching his side. Montpreet rushes in. "We need to get him to the hospital. Now." Liam resists. "I'm fine. It's just stress." But Claudette holds up a bloodstained towel. "This is not stress." As they drive, Liam confesses, "I'm scared. If it's cancer, I don't know if I can fight again." Montpreet grips his hand. "You're not alone." Ruby follows Caleb to the mill cottage. She watches as he unlocks a hidden drawer, revealing documents, blueprints, maps, and a photo of John Sugdan. "You're tracking him," she says. Caleb nods. "He's planning something. Something big." Ruby gasps. "You think he'll hurt Robert again?" Caleb looks up. "I think he'll hurt everyone." Night falls. Victoria receives a message, "Meet me at the old barn. Come alone. Jay." She goes. Inside, candles flicker. A photo of her and John as children sits on a table. John steps out of the shadows. "I just wanted to talk." Victoria trembles. "You tried to kill Robert." John smiles. "I wanted to kill the part of me that loved him." Suddenly, the barn door slams shut. Gas begins to hiss from a pipe. John whispers, "If I can't have family, no one can." Cut to black. The barn groans under the weight of silence. Its wooden beams creak as if whispering secrets long forgotten. Candles flicker in a circle around Victoria Sugdan, casting dancing shadows across her pale face. Her breath is shallow, her eyes darting to every corner of the room. John Sugdan steps forward, his silhouette emerging from the gloom like a ghost resurrected. "I just wanted to talk," he says, voice trembling with something between sorrow and menace. Victoria's voice is barely a whisper. "You tried to kill Robert." John smiles, not with joy, but with a twisted ache. "I wanted to kill the part of me that loved him." Suddenly, the barn door slams shut. A metallic hiss fills the air. Victoria turns, a pipe along the wall begins to release gas. The candles flicker violently. "If I can't have family," John murmurs, "no one can." Victoria lunges toward the door, but it's locked from the outside. She pounds on the wood, screaming. John watches, tears streaming down his face, the syringe still in his hand. But then a crash. The side wall of the barn bursts open. Caleb storms in, followed by Aaron, both coughing from the fumes. "Get her out!" Caleb shouts. Aaron grabs Victoria, dragging her into the night air. Caleb tackles John, pinning him to the ground. "You think pain makes you special?" Caleb growls. "You think betrayal gives you permission to destroy?" John sobs. "I just wanted someone to choose me." At the hospital, Victoria lies unconscious, oxygen mask strapped to her face. Aaron sits beside her, gripping her hand. Caleb stands in the hallway, staring at his bloodied knuckles. Manpreet approaches. "She'll live. But she inhaled enough to cause damage. We'll need to monitor her." Caleb nods, silent. Meanwhile, John is restrained in a psychiatric ward. He stares at the ceiling, whispering names: Robert, Victoria, Aaron, like a prayer or a curse. Back at the Dingle house, Mackenzie Boyd packs a bag. Charity watches from the doorway, eyes red from crying. "You're leaving?" she asks. Mackenzie doesn't answer. He zips the bag, then turns. "You lied to me. You lied to Sarah. You lied to yourself." Charity steps forward. "I did it for her. She wanted a child. I wanted to help." Mackenzie's voice cracks. "You helped by sleeping with Ross?" She flinches. "I don't know who you are anymore," he says, and walks out. Charity collapses to the floor, sobbing. Upstairs, Sarah listens from behind her bedroom door, tears streaming down her face. Ross Sparta meets Ray Walters at a dimly lit pub. They sit in a booth, away from prying eyes. "You've stirred the pot," Ray says, sipping whiskey. "Charity's broken. Mackenzie's gone. And April's in your pocket." Ross leans back. "I didn't do it for you. I did it for my child." Ray chuckles. "You think you'll get custody?" Ross's eyes narrow. "I'll get more than that." Ray slides a folder across the table. Inside, photos of Caleb, maps of Emmerdale, and a list of names. "John was just the beginning," Ray says. "There's a storm coming. And you're either in it, or under it." April stares at the burner phone. It buzzes, a message: "Drop at 3 a.m. Behind the mill." She walks to the mirror, her reflection fractured by fear. She opens a drawer, revealing a small pistol wrapped in cloth. Her hands tremble as she picks it up. Flashback, her father's voice: "Never let fear make your choices." She puts the gun in her bag. At 3 a.m., she arrives at the mill. A figure waits in the shadows. "Dylan. You shouldn't be here," he says. April steps forward. "Neither should you." Suddenly, headlights flood the area. Police sirens wail. Ray's men scatter. April drops the bag and raises her hands. Dylan grabs her arm. "Run." But April stands firm. "I'm done running." Liam sits in a sterile room, Manpreet beside him. A doctor enters, holding a file. "It's not cancer," the doctor says. "But it's serious. You have a rare autoimmune condition. It's attacking your organs." Liam exhales, relief and dread mixing. "Can it be treated?" The doctor nods. "With time. And strength." Manpreet grips his hand. "You have both." Caleb returns to the mill cottage. Ruby waits. John's locked up. Victoria's safe. But this isn't over, she says. Caleb opens a drawer, revealing a hidden USB. This is what John was working on. It's not just revenge. It's a blueprint. Ruby plugs it into a laptop. Files open, surveillance footage, voice recordings, maps of Emmerdale with red zones marked targets. He wasn't working alone, Caleb says. He was part of something bigger. Ruby gasps. "Ray?" Caleb nods. "And Ross. And maybe more." Charity finds a letter on her doorstep. No envelope. Just her name, scrawled in red ink. She opens it. "You think the truth is behind you. But it's beneath you. Dig deeper. Or bury yourself." She looks up. Across the street, a figure watches from the shadows. Cut to black. The episode opened not with dialogue, but with silence the kind that hangs heavy over a village when something terrible has happened and everyone knows it, but no one dares speak. Emmerdale was cloaked in a grey morning mist, the kind that clings to rooftops and seeps into bones. The camera panned slowly across the fields, the Woolpack pub, the empty streets, all eerily still. Inside the hospital, Aaron Dingle stirred. His eyes fluttered open, and the world returned in fragments, pain, confusion, and the memory of John Sugdan's face, twisted with rage, whispering promises of salvation and destruction. Aaron's voice was hoarse as he called out, "Mac." Charles Dingle, seated beside him, gasped. "Aaron? You're awake?" Aaron tried to sit up, but the pain was sharp. "John. He's not who you think. He's got Mac. Underground. A bunker." The room erupted into motion. Nurses rushed in. Chaz grabbed her phone. And somewhere in the village, Charity Dingle's world began to unravel. Cut to a dimly lit underground space, the bunker. Mackenzie Boyd lay on a cot, pale, trembling, his breath shallow. The camera lingered on the syringe in his hand, the one John had left behind. Mac stared at it, his mind fractured by days of captivity, isolation, and fear. He injected himself. The hallucinations came fast. Charity appeared beside him, smiling, whispering words of comfort. "You're safe now, Mac. I'm here." Tears streamed down his face. "I thought I'd never see you again." But the illusion faded, and the cold returned. Mac collapsed, unconscious. Back in the village, the police mobilized. Kane Dingle, freshly returned from a trip with John, was stunned to learn the truth. "He killed Nate?" he whispered, disbelief giving way to fury. Charity was already at the cottage, demanding answers. "Where's the bunker? Where did he take Mac?" Aaron, still weak, pointed toward the woods. "It's near the cottage. Hidden. He kept me there too." The search began. Officers combed the area, guided by Aaron's fragmented memories. Charity refused to stay behind. "He's my husband. I'm not waiting for news. I'm making it." Meanwhile, in prison, Robert Sugdan sat alone in his cell. Victoria Sugdan visited, her face pale, her voice trembling. "You were right. About John. About everything." Robert didn't smile. "It doesn't matter now. They think I pushed him and Aaron off that cliff. They think I'm the monster." Victoria reached through the glass. "We'll fix this. I'll talk to Patty. There might be transcripts calls John made to the helpline. Something to prove he set you up." Robert's eyes darkened. "He's not just dangerous. He's calculated. He wants to erase me." At the hospital, Aaron recounted everything. The cliff. The bunker. The syringe. John's twisted hero complex, how he endangered lives just to save them and be praised. Moira, Chaz, and Charity listened in horror. "He killed Nate," Aaron said. "He tried to kill me. He framed Robert. And now Mac." Charity's voice broke. "We have to find him. Now." The police reached the bunker. The door was ajar. Inside empty. Charity screamed. "Where is he?" But then a sound. A groan. Mackenzie, barely conscious, crawled from behind a stack of crates. Charity rushed to him, cradling his head. "Mac. Oh my God, you're alive." He opened his eyes. "Charity." The reunion was raw, emotional, and devastating. Mac was rushed to the hospital. Charity never left his side. John Sugdan was gone. Kane, now fully aware of the depth of John's crimes, vowed revenge. "He killed my son. He nearly killed my nephew. He's not walking away from this." Victoria, shaken, returned to the village and confronted Patty. "I need those transcripts. Anything that proves John was manipulating people." Patty hesitated. "There's something. A call. He mentioned Robert. Said he was going to cleanse the family." Victoria's face hardened. "He's not just a killer. He's a fanatic." At the hospital, Charity sat beside Mac's bed. He was stable, but weak. She held his hand, whispering apologies. "I should have known. I should have listened. I'm so sorry." Mac squeezed her hand. "You came for me. That's all that matters." They cried together, the trauma still fresh, the love still strong. Back in the village, April Windsor was unraveling. She'd been delivering packages for Ray Walters' drugs, money, secrets. She was in too deep. PC swirling caught her near a seedy alley. "What are you doing here?" April lied. "Just meeting a friend." But Rona was suspicious. "You've changed, April. What's going on?" April panicked. She ran to Ross Barton. "I need out. I can't do this anymore." Ross looked at her, then at the burner phone in her hand. "Ray's got you too?" April nodded. "Help me." As the episode neared its end, a final twist emerged. John Sugdan was spotted, not fleeing, but watching. From the woods. From the shadows. He left a note on Charity's doorstep. "You think the truth is behind you. but it's beneath you. Dig deeper. Or bury yourself. Charity read it, her hands trembling. Across the street, a figure watched. Cut to black. This episode of Emmerdale was a masterclass in tension, emotion, and character-driven storytelling. From Aaron's awakening to Mac's rescue, from Robert's imprisonment to John's escape, every moment was layered with consequence and heartbreak. The performances were raw, the writing sharp, and the direction haunting. It wasn't just an episode. It was a reckoning. The morning after Mackenzie Boyd's rescue, Emmerdale was anything but calm. Though the sun rose over the hills, its light felt cold, sterile, like a hospital lamp over a wound that refused to heal. The village buzzed with whispers. Doors stayed shut. Eyes darted. Everyone knew what had happened, but no one knew what would happen next. Charity Dingle hadn't slept. She sat beside Mac's hospital bed, her fingers tangled in his. His breathing was steady now, but his silence was deafening. "You don't have to forgive me," she whispered. "But I need you to know I never stopped loving you." Mac opened his eyes. "Then why did you lie?" Charity's tears came fast. "Because I was scared. Because I thought I was helping Sarah. Because I didn't know how to tell you that the baby might be Ross's." Mac turned away. "You didn't just break my heart. You broke our future." Outside the hospital, Kane Dingle stood with Caleb. The letter John had left on Charity's doorstep was now in Caleb's hands. "You think the truth is behind you. But it's beneath you. Dig deeper. Or bury yourself." Caleb's jaw clenched. "He's not done." Kane nodded. "Then neither are we." They returned to the bunker. The police had cleared it, but Caleb found something they missed: a hidden compartment beneath the floorboards. Inside, a journal. John's handwriting. Pages filled with names, dates, and chilling phrases. The blood must be cleansed. Robert was the first betrayal. Victoria will be the last. Kane looked at Caleb. He's planning something. Something big. At Keeper's cottage, Victoria Sugdan stared at the photo of her and John as children. Her hands trembled. She remembered the way he used to protect her, the way he used to laugh. But that boy was gone. Replaced by a man twisted by abandonment and obsession. Paddy arrived with a folder. "I found the transcripts. The helpline calls. He mentioned you. Said you were the key to redemption." Victoria read the words. Her face paled. "He thinks if he kills me, he'll be forgiven." Paddy nodded. "We need to get you out of here." But Victoria stood firm. "No. I won't run. I'll face him." Ross Barton met Ray Walters in a warehouse outside the village. The tension between them was thick. "You promised me leverage," Ross said. "You promised me control." Ray smirked. "You have it. Charity's broken. Mac's out of the picture. April's in your pocket." Ross slammed his fist on the table. "I don't want April in my pocket. I want her safe." Ray leaned in. "Then finish the job. Deliver the package. Or I'll make sure she's not just in your pocket, she's in your grave." Ross left, fists clenched, heart racing. April Windsor sat in her bedroom, staring at the burner phone. Messages flashed across the screen. "Tonight. 2 a.m. The Viaduct." She opened her drawer. The pistol was still there. Her hands trembled as she picked it up. Flashback. Her father's voice: "Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's doing what's right despite it." She packed the gun. She was done being afraid. At 2 a.m., April arrived at the Viaduct. The air was thick with tension. She saw the figure waiting. "Ross. You shouldn't be here," he said. April stepped forward. "Neither should you." Suddenly, headlights. Police sirens. Ray's men scattered. April raised the gun. Ross grabbed her. "Don't. You'll ruin everything." But April stood firm. "I'm not a pawn. I'm not your leverage. I'm done." She dropped the gun. The police swarmed in. Ray was arrested. Ross was taken in for questioning. April walked away, tears streaming down her face but her spine straight. Back in Emmerdale, Victoria received a message. "Meet me at the church. Alone. Midnight." She went inside. Candles flickered. The altar was covered in photos: her, Robert, John. A twisted shrine. John stepped from the shadows. "You were always the light. I was the shadow." Victoria trembled. "You don't have to do this." John raised a knife. "I do." But then a gunshot. John collapsed. Behind him, Caleb stood, smoking pistol in hand. "You don't get to decide who lives and dies." Victoria sobbed. "Is it over?" Caleb looked down at John's body. "Not yet." As dawn broke, Charity received another letter. "You buried the truth. But the grave was shallow. I'm not the only monster." She looked up. Across the street, a new figure watched. Not John. Someone else. Someone worse. Cut to black.